night, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? A stronger UNC is a stronger TNT. That is our creed. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up the road today, I was reflecting on our journey thus far. And I was reflecting on the movement of the United Patriots and the praying hands coming towards the day. And I thought to myself, everything in its own time. Everything in its own time. You see, when we started this movement, there was some that was saying, you all have an uphill task. Uphill task. And then Anita started talking to them. Rushton started speaking to them. Victor started speaking to them. And everybody started talking. And then you know what they told us? They said that the tide is turning. Tide is turning. And as I speak to you tonight, I want to say that the tide has turned. The tide has turned, ladies and gentlemen. And on June 15th, we will be victorious. And you may ask why. And it's not that difficult to figure out, Because the UNC membership, you all are listening. You all aren't stupid. You all are listening to both sides of the slate. So when you hear one side of the state say, well, listen, you haven't won in 2015. You haven't won in 2020. If you don't make any changes, you're not going to win in 2025. And what's their response? Always PNM. When we say, listen, there are some people on NATEX, there's a role for everybody, but there are some people in NATEX, the population just does not trust them to govern their affairs. They say always ni makaram. When we say on this side, we want to build a party school, we want to build a party headquarters, start a party school, teach activists how to speak to the public, how to articulate policy, they say always dissident. Well, I want to tell them tonight, call us what you want. But on June 15th, you will call us the National Executive. That is what you will call us. Call us what you want, because on June 15th, it will be a reckoning for this party, and it will be the start of something new. Now, as I said, the population and the membership are listening very carefully. And on the way up, I just happened to be scrolling through this thing called TikTok. I was reminded today it's not TikTok, it's TikTok, right? I was scrolling through this thing called TikTok, and I saw a fella talking on a program, and he said, Mr. Princetown, he said, well, you have to vote for them and not us, because he's standing in the gap against the PNM. He's standing in the gap. And he's stopping everything. But ladies and gentlemen, crime is going up. Your water rate and electricity rate going up. Your roads are going down. He probably standing in a pothole because it's not a gap. And that is what they don't understand, that you have to get into government to fix things. You have to get into government. You have to formulate your policy. What does standing in the gap mean? What? Organizing a protest on a Monday because the road ain't good? We don't want to be a party of protest. We don't want to be a party planning protest. We want to be a party planning policy. We don't want to grumble. We want to govern. That is what we want to do. So when you hear them talking about policy, again, another TikTok video I see them come out with, right? One man say, well, of course, this is what we do. And of course, that was what we do, right? Of course, I am this, and of course. Well, of course, I stand for firearm policy. But they didn't tell us what they're going to do to reduce the weight for firearms. Tell us what your policy is. Are you going to move the discretion away from the Commissioner of Police? Are you going to set a limitation in the legislation to ensure that firearm licenses are dealt with on a certain period of time? Are you going to create a firearm authority to process applications faster and take it out of the hands of the police? What is your policy? The population does not want a TikTok video where you come and say, I support firearm for the population, and you have no idea how to deliver it. That is not what the population wants. When you say, I support stand your ground law, what does that mean? Does that mean that you are going to adjust the self-defense laws in this country? Does it mean that you are going to move the common law defense of self-defense into statute and create a specific defense for homeowners so that if anybody enters your house without your permission, you can kill them or you can defend your home without worry of prosecution? Is that what you're talking about? Because that is how policy is made. You cannot just simply stand up and say, I for stand your ground. Another one say, he support lower electricity rates. Well, what are you going to do to maximize efficiency to ensure that electricity rates are going down? Are you going to go alternative energy? Are you going to try solar? What are you doing? So when we talk policy and strategy, we don't mean TikTok video, right? We mean actual policy. Consult with your members, because let me tell you something. I have been walking and talking to people throughout this country, especially in Couva North, and they are very, very bright people. Everybody has an idea how to fix this country. Everybody has a thought. Everybody has a contribution to make. But that is why we must fix the arms of our party to ensure that the ideas from our membership filter from the ground all the way up to NATEX. That is how we do it. That is how you do it. So don't take on all of the old talk. I want, and I might borrow, forgive me for borrowing the expression, I want the membership to forget all of the old talk that you're going to see on Facebook and TikTok and all kind of thing, right? Fake profile don't have vote in membership election, right? Fake profile don't vote, right? So don't worry about that. Stay focused on the eye of the bird, because the eye of the bird is June 15th to put in a competent NATEX in order to ensure that our party wins government in 2025. That is what we must do. And don't give us no soundbite. If you want to come and talk policy and debate policy, well, say what your policy is, and we go debate you on policy. Any one of them could debate education with Anita? Any one of them could debate international relations with Rodney? Eh? Law with Dinesh? No. But you're standing in a pothole, in a gap. What does that mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, June 15th, praying hands. Praying hands, ladies and gentlemen, because a stronger UNC is a stronger TNT. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.